and good evening, and welcome to Mondays with Mondainé. And of course, I'm your host, E.D. Mondainé. It's 6 o'clock. Do you know where your children are? It's been almost a week since we heard of the unfortunate death of Tina Turner. Thinking about her made me think about all the struggles that she had and how she dealt with those and left us a way to deal with them by mustering the strength and having the resilience to move forward. I was very fortunate to have been acquainted with Miss Turner and grew up with some of her children. Growing up in the south side of St. Louis, and it reminded me of the struggles in my childhood. So I want to talk about some of those things tonight. And if I were to name this podcast tonight, it would be From Maladies to Melodies, living a life in South St. Louis, Missouri. Growing up in South St. Louis within a single-parent household, it shaped my early years in profound ways. My mother was a strong and resilient woman, raising 7 children, including the 7th child who was adopted after the tragic passing of her best friend due to an aneurysm. Our lives were filled with challenges and moments of inspiration as we navigated the complexities of poverty, health issues, and limited educational opportunity. In this segment, I want to reflect on the unique experiences of my childhood. I hope that you will know me better. I want to speak to the roles that my mother, siblings, and extended family played in my life. I will also address the impact of my health conditions and the underlying causes and the pursuit of music amongst the adversity. Y'all know it ain't nothing like a mother's love. My mother's unwavering love and determination were the pillars that held our family together. Now, despite hardships, she worked tirelessly, often getting up before sunrise, traveling to the suburbs to care for the children of white families, after which she would work a shift at the hospital as she was being trained as a nurse. And this was all while leaving her own children in the care of my older sister. She didn't get a kick out of that. My mother's sacrifices were immense, and she balanced the demands of work with the responsibility of raising a large family. It was her resilience and selflessness that served as an enduring inspiration throughout my upbringing, and through it all, my mother's unwavering faith in God served as a guiding light in all of our lives. Every Sunday morning, my mother would rally us together and we would embark on a journey to church. We were going to church, and she and 7 children in tow, we relied on the public transportation system to get us there. And this stood as a testament to her dedication and the commitment to her faith, which taught me. And despite the challenges we faced as a family, she placed her trust in God, teaching us to do the same. From an early age, I battled various health issues that affected my daily life. Chronic ear, nose, and throat disparities, they haunted my childhood. This led to adenoidal and frequent inner ear infections. Now, these conditions necessitated biannual surgical procedures for placing astration tubes in my ears. And additionally, I suffered from an undiagnosed sleep apnea and chronic asthma issue, which often left me gasping for air in the middle of the night, causing an overwhelming sense of fear and confusion. I thought I was going crazy. The combination of these health challenges resulted in a hearing deficit, making my educational journey, to say the least, challenging. Being hearing impaired aligned with frequent school absences due to my health conditions made keeping up with classroom assignments arduous. Teachers' instructions were often difficult for me to comprehend in a classroom setting. My sisters, however, were above average learners and had difficulty understanding why grade point average for me paled theirs significantly. And an extra burden was that my siblings and I shared the same teachers as we passed from one grade to the other, making the expectations to follow their leads a nightmare. Dude. But thanks to the unwavering support and guidance of my older sisters, I was able to find strength to keep going. They tutored me with diligence. They espoused the hope that I would stay on track despite obstacles that threatened to impede my progress. They believed in me and my abilities. This became a driving force for me, and it helped propel me forward during my elementary school years. It was during these times that I would have to stay home from school due to illness. My mother was at work, and my siblings were at school, and an older teenager would assume the role of being a caretaker for me, a babysitter. Now, regrettably, this arrangement took a dark turn when at the age of 5, I became a victim of his predatory behavior. This daily routine persisted until fate intervened, and it abruptly ended when his advances were discovered by his sibling. This traumatic experience cast a shadow. It was a mist over my childhood, but it also fueled my imagination, and I found solace and expression through music. In the midst of the challenges and struggles, my childhood had moments of solace and even fascination. One of the most profound fascinations was my love for the piano. I would spend hours playing along with the music that I heard on the radio. I played on the windowsill of our apartment. I was especially enraptured by the performances of the renowned Jose Iturbe. Y'all probably don't know who he is. He appeared in the old black and white movies that graced our television screen. The piano became my sanctuary. It was a source of catharsis and a refuge from the hardships of my life. It was through music that I was introduced to my own voice, and this allowed me to transcend from the limitations that were imposed upon me by my circumstances. Yes, indeed. Growing up in St. Louis, Missouri, within a single-parent household, it came with its fair share of difficulties and setbacks. Yet, my family's support and the power of music became a guiding light in my journey. Despite health challenges and that unsettling encounter that I had, it was the grace of God that I continued to blossom. Destiny refused to allow those circumstances to destroy the gifts within me. Now, in the heart of a bustling city, just beyond the outskirts of downtown St. Louis, there stood a towering 12-story building known as the Projects, properly known as Peabody Darcy Webby. Within its walls, situated in a building laid out on land measuring approximately maybe about a fourth of a block, there were 240 adults and children from 48 different families that resided there. Each apartment accommodated an average of about 5. This is where I spent the first 10 years of my adolescence. Now, in this overcrowded condition, characterized by its congestion, offered a unique perspective on life and a collection of stories that shed light on the struggles, resilience, and hopes of those raised in those circumstances. The project neighborhood would also host major manufacturing plants such as Monsanto, Peabody Coal, Ralston Purina, Anheuser-Busch, Brown Shoe Company, and others from their tumultuous smokestacks. These manufacturers spewed poisonous toxins that contributed to the ill health of many South St. Louis residents, especially pulmonary disparities. It's difficult to think about the many deaths that can be attributed to this kind of climate injustice. Amongst the many experiences shared, I want to draw your attention to one haunting detail that stands out, and it was the garbage chute system. Not only did this system manage the tenants' waste, but it also held a dark secret of its own. This is a tale of a community as told through the eyes of its residents. Now, there are merits of a congested atmosphere, and describing the atmosphere of the projects is no easy task. The sheer number of individuals crammed in one building created an environment that exceeded the mere definition of congestion. Families shared tight living spaces. Neighbors knew one another intimately, and they knew all about their lives, and everybody knew everybody else's business. And the building seemed to pulsate at times with joys, sorrows, and struggles of all that inhabited there. I want to talk a little bit more about that garbage chute system. It was at the heart of this towering structure laid a unique waste management solution called the garbage chute system. This was a vertical space passing through each floor, and it offered convenience and efficiency for disposing of the garbage generated by its inhabitants. But beneath its seemingly innocent function, a chilling reality existed. At the end of the chute system laid an inferno, a constant blaze that burned ceaselessly all day and all night. Now, children talk about what they see and hear, and they understand what's ugly. The chant of lost lives amongst the echoes of daily life in the projects, the rhyme of resident children playing with jump ropes reverberated through the building. Their innocent chants carried a dark undertone, recounting the tragic fate of babies lost to the garbage chute. The community was confronted often with the harsh reality of lives cut short and dreams extinguished. As times passed, the residents of the projects were forced to confront the haunting realities of the garbage chute system and reflect on the innocent chants that they heard the children talking about. The community realized the heartbreaking truth that many infants had met their untimely demise within the depths of this chute system. This realization spoke to a collective and it spoke to a desire for change as residents sought justice, protection, and a better future for themselves and their children. As I conclude my time with you tonight, I want to leave you with the knowing and the understanding that the stories of life in the projects, as told through the experiences of those who live there, offer a poignant and sobering insight into the struggles and challenges faced by disadvantaged communities. The garbage chute systems initially seemed as a simple waste disposal mechanism, and the huge smokestacks that billowed smoke from within its openings both held within them tragic secrets that have never been told, as they highlight the hardships endured by the most vulnerable members of our society. However, despite the darkness, the resilience and hope of the residents kept shining through, inspiring a change and a taste for renewed life and a determination to create a better and brighter tomorrow. These stories deserve to be heard, remembered, and used as a catalyst for progress and social transformation. Now let's give way to the power of resiliency. Just as there is a darkness, an incredible light also exists. In spite of the horrific conditions and challenges of being raised in a public housing project, there was a remarkable sense of family that spawned hope among those that lived there. Living in such proximity meant that one couldn't help but become acquainted with the intricate and personal situations that unfolded in their surrounding apartments. And amidst these struggles, the children were taught to obey and respect the adults around them. They would play an important part of their survival. It was an automatic that in the absence of biological parents, when any situation arose, there was a need for authority there, and the adult present in the situation became a surrogate parent figure immediately. So we had to be taught respect and manners, and they were instilled in us from an early age. We were taught to address adults as yes, sir, and yes, ma'am. Two-parent households were rare, with the majority of families being headed by single mothers. The project community had a unique beauty. No child went without the basic needs of food, clothing, and care. If there was a family struggling, the neighbors sharing an apartment within the 4-pod per floor, 12-story building would come to their aid immediately and without question. We were intimately familiar with each other. We knew each other's names, and we knew the names of everyone else's parents. It seemed like everyone had an understanding of how to contact each other, as if there was an unspoken network in place. Ooh. Before a child's parent arrived on the scene after an incident, they were already informed about the situation by another concerned parent. Accountability was crucial within our community. If any parent witnessed a child engaging in wrongdoing, immediate action was taken. Come here, boy. Come here, girl. The child would be scolded and directed with sternness to go to your apartment and wait for your mama. It was astonishing how quickly news traveled, and it seemed that each parent had a means of contacting one another. I don't know how they did that, but by the time the child's parent arrived back home, they were already aware of who did it, why, and what. They were already apprised of the situation, and they were ready right then to address it. Despite the challenging circumstances and the hardships we faced, the sense of family and support within public housing projects was a testament to the resilience and compassion of those that lived there. We may have been bound by shared struggles in our environments, but we were also united by a collective determination to look out for one another and to ensure that no child was left behind. Listen, we want to hear from you. What do you want me to discuss here on Monday nights with Mondainé? Who would you like me to interview? Let me know down in the comments. If you like this video, please give us a thumb up and share this with your friends and family and neighbors so that they can be inspired by our show as well. Don't forget to turn on your notifications so you don't miss a thing from Mondays with Mondainé. I'd like to thank our staff, those incredible guys that make this happen. And I want to thank Poshines for the amazing food that they give us during the taping of our segments. And we want to thank Auntie and Tantis for sharing and making this thing happen. And if you want to see me on a more regular basis, come to Celebration Tabernacle, located at 8131 North Denver in Portland. And we meet here on Sunday mornings at 11 o'clock a.m. As I leave you tonight, I want you to know something. It's always important to play your part and do your best for community, God, and country. See you next time.
Hey, it's time for you to come to Post Shine. Check out that catfish sandwich. Oh my goodness, is that the shrimp po' boy? Man, look at that chocolate chip cake. Man, I need to get over to Post Shines at 8139 North Denver right now because this food looks delicious. Or call if you'd like, 503-978-9000. And don't miss it, you'll be sorry.